Drink Whiskey returns to Doggers June 23rd. The video you are about to watch was recorded at Doggers in Yelm, Washington. We need you to be in the audience next time. The next time will be June 23rd at 1 p.m. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey at Doggers in Yelm. So we got Dogger himself out pouring the audience shots so that they can try what we're about to try. And you can go down and for $4, this is the featured whiskey of the week at Doggers, MacNaughton's. We're about to try it. It might be good. It might be bad. We're going to be bold and honest. Dogger knows this, and he's okay with that. So, anybody who wants to come up front here and be part of the show, you can. We'll get you a free shot glass from Nerds Drink Whiskey, and feel free if you have anything to add. If you want to fact check us, if you want to, make a joke.
They call him off and wrong Mark, so.
Do I now?
So they call him off and wrong Mark. Often wrong.
Often wrong, yes.
That's a bad Star Trek joke, actually.
Oh, okay. I'm not much of a Trekkie, yeah. So, so if Dogger wants to come up here and when he's ready, pour us some MacNaughton's and we're going to give it a try. And as we said last week, if you're in Ireland and you order an Irish whiskey, you could be making a political statement. It's make sure to not order the wrong whiskey in the wrong bar. But coming up to the stage right now is the man himself, Dogger, who's going to pour us a little bit of MacNaughton's.
All right, so Dogger,
a little bit. Small, just enough to,
we might need some Coke on the side to mix it with.
I'll go grab you guys.
But these are $4 a shot. So someone wants to know where Dogger got his name from.
It's definitely MacNaughton's. Woke up in my buddy's front yard in my underwear and had no idea how I got there. True story. And this was involved. I was a young man.
Oh, this is Canadian.
So you and MacNaughton's have some history then?
Yeah, at an early age of 21, it was the cheapest half gallon I could purchase in Aberdeen, Washington.
All right. So here we go. We're going to try.
Just as we were talking about how Mark is often wrong.
He's wrong again.
It says Canadian on the back of this.
This is Canadian whiskey, Mark.
Is there an Irish clan there in Canada?
Well, then we need to put on the credits down below which whiskey I was confusing with. So I thought it was MacNaughton's, but it's something else. And now I'm trying to think of what it would be. But anyways, it says that if you're watching this video on the internet, I've got credits on the bottom of the screen that say what it really is. So
it sounds Irish.
Yeah, I mean, you could have been right, but you weren't.
I'm usually not, but...
Another strike against Mark. I will admit this is definitely tasting like Canadian whiskey. Nothing wrong with it, but it tastes like Canadian whiskey.
Yeah.
I've tasted a lot worse. I
agree with you.
This is not near as bad as what everybody led us to believe. It's only $4.
Not like this.
Yeah. So
$4 a shot? That's not bad at all.
So what's your well drink and how much is it?
This is our well whiskey, and it's only $4 a shot.
So this is the well. So for a well, that's perfectly fine. And yeah, it's not as bad as we were all led to believe. So
many places have like Evan Williams as their well drink, which is just rock gut.
Yeah. So,
basically.
And this is
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with Evan Williams if you put enough cola to it.
I agree.
What do we got? What do we got? The stuff that I did not put in the daily nerd news. What do we got going on?
Let me fire up the tablet here.
Oh, look at him being unprepared.
Yeah, look at that, fancy, right? All right, so where we're at right now, stuff that's coming up in the future, and it's coming up not all that soon. We're down to like December releases, things that coming out around there. Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, excuse me. So that's the next Harry Potter-esque movie.
You
It's
just
in that
ticked
world.
off.
It's not
You
Harry
just
Potter.
ticked off a bunch of Harry Potter fans by
you did.
mispronouncing that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, how about the Crimes of Johnny Depp? Because he plays that character anyway. We'll call it that. Johnny Depp's in the new movie. If you saw the last one, he was at the very end. He was the bad guy.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to give away spoilers at this point. It's been out long enough. But that's coming out December 21st. I actually, I like it. I'm a Harry Potter guy too. Not like I'm like Star Wars or Star Trek or whatnot, but I enjoy the movies. And some of the books, I read most of the books before the movies.
I prefer the adult version, which is once you grow up, you can read the adult Harry Wizard, which is the Dresden Files featuring Harry Dresden. So
I've heard those are good. I haven't watched them yet, or read them yet. But. What else? We have a new Robin Hood movie. The cast, it was full of nobodies. I didn't recognize any of the actors. I don't know if anybody cares
They're
about
doing another
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood movie,
Now,
really?
are they doing a Robin Hood movie every week, or is it every month?
I don't know. I lost track, and I personally don't care.
I lost track with Prince of Thieves, man.
Was that Richard Gere?
Men in,
Yeah,
I
Men in
think, yeah,
Tights
Men in
is
Tights.
about-
So
Men in Tights.
Men
Okay,
in
there's a
Tights
good
is
one.
better than Prince of Thieves, honestly.
Once you did Robin Hood Men in Tights, I mean, you can't beat Mel Brooks.
Exactly.
He does it best.
Aquaman's coming up. There's a lot of hype for this movie. Starring Jason Momoa. I didn't know, but Nicole Kidman's in this, William Dafoe, and Dolph Lundgren.
The women seem to be really interested in Aquaman
Yeah,
lately. I
it's
don't know
kind of
why. He doesn't do anything for me,
It's
but
kind of like when
women
we were
seem
all
to be
like,
interested.
Wonder Woman, all right, but Aquaman,
His chest. That is
We hear that it's his. Hold on. We got some commentary here. So
There we go.
So please inform us, gentlemen. What is so good about Aquaman?
Well, he's Khal Drogo. Well, he's Jason Momoa, so he's an Islander, and he's brown and beautiful, and he's got an amazing chest. So
I was a fan back when he was on Stargate. So there.
and he does full frontal, and he does full frontal nudity back in Game of Thrones, right? So,
He's always Ronin in my heart.
what else do we have here? There's a Bumblebee movie coming out from the Transformers world.
Oh, God.
Is it still Michael Bay?
It's not. I was excited.
Thank God for
suddenly
that.
interested. I'm suddenly interested.
Yeah, I know. I was like, it's probably a Michael Bay thing, but it's not a Michael Bay thing. It's not even written by Michael Bay. So maybe there's hopes for a good Transformers movie. I don't know. Let's hope. That's December 21st as well. Alita Battle Angel. That's coming out. I believe I mentioned this on the show before. It's
Is that anime?
It is not an anime. This is a live action. Now there is
is
an anime
based
out
on
there.
it. It is-
It's from a manga, which is a Japanese comic for anyone who doesn't know. But it was written by James Cameron. He's been wanting to do this forever. He just doesn't have the time to do it with Avatar and everything. So he handed it over to, was it Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's who has it, which is awesome because I love Guillermo del Toro. And so I'm looking forward to that. We have to wait until December 21st for that as well. But the manga was awesome. One of my favorite manga. I can't wait for the movie.
I'm
I
just
hope it'll be done
worried
well.
that there was a lot of content. It was a multi-volume
Yeah.
series, and you're going to try and get that down into under
Couple
2 hours?
Yeah, and that's hopefully it's a series of movies because that's really the only way they can even touch on how much content they have. But other than that, new Tomb Raider movie coming out sometime with a bunch of people that we don't know. Do we care? I don't.
What is it? Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider, another Tomb
Now, didn't the Tomb Raider movie just come out?
Yes.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the sequel. This is the next sequel for that one.
My wife went and saw it, and she said that it was better than she expected. That was the most positive thing she could say about it.
I will say the video games are leaps and bounds better than the old ones, and the old ones are like they set a good standard. The new video games are epic. So
I will absolutely agree on that one.
I still really suck at video games, so I don't play them.
I don't know.
this thing called Twitch and stream, you can just watch other people.
Well, there's that. Okay. All right.
Lots of podcasts out there.
I'm one of the video game nerds, probably the main video game nerd out of the four of us. And I can honestly say I agree with you, Jeff. The new Tomb Raider games are absolutely wonderful. They're very well made.
So, speaking of video games, have any of you guys played Fortnite?
No.
I've heard that's like I don't know. I've been seriously thinking about doing a podcast where we just call it like something like Ultimate Noob, where basically I live stream. I Twitch or something, and I have a Sherpa, a video game Sherpa, like on my headset, telling me and yelling at me of how stupid all the stupid decisions that I'm making. I think that would be a really interesting podcast, but. So I don't know. That's what we got for the non-daily nerd news for this week.
That's
All
pretty
right,
much
cool.
it. I do think we should give a shout out to the waitress, Karen.
Yes.
She's
All right.
really been helping us out. She brought us the food. She kept coming back. I mean, she made sure we were happy. And Les over there, he's running our sound, and he's been doing an awesome job making sure everything's great.
He's, you know,
Less is more.
You know how good Les is? I think he's actually made us look good, and that's a little bit of a
That's
challenge.
hard.
So
That is a
Make us
tall
look thin.
feat by anyone's means.
except for Gabe, we keep him around for his good looks.
Absolutely, baby.
I have a question for you, gentlemen.
Hold on. Let me run up there. So
Here we
gotta
go.
make sure you're heard. All right.
So I have two questions. What whiskey do you guys drink to enforce such great beard power between the four of you?
Well, that's a complicated question because I know my favorite whiskey is one I haven't tried yet. The one that I do go back to quite often is one called Benchmark. There's two whiskeys that we've done on this show out of the entire time we've done the show where they're very inexpensive whiskeys, but they're very tasty. Benchmark is one if you want a sweeter bourbon. If you want something with a little bit more bite, there's Rebel Yell, and both of those are very inexpensive. However, my favorite whiskey out of the entire time we've done this show is about to go discontinued. So Dogger, you probably want to buy some of this so you can say, no, we still have it, because in September it's discontinued, but it's Suntory's Hibiki 17. So that's
Hibiki, not Sibiki.
what is that?
Hibiki.
Right, Hibiki. Yeah, Hibiki. So Suntory's Hibiki 17. That is about to be discontinued within the next few months, and you can only get then the Hibiki 20, which is $100 more a bottle. So so it'll go from 150 to about 150 to 250. So just for those extra couple years of aging, I guess. So that's. I hope that answers your question. Oh, and one more. Okay, hold on. We love. No, wait a minute. Before I come over to you, hold on. See, for being interactive with the show. If you're interactive with the show, we give shot glasses. So you've earned 2 shot glasses. What's your question?
In regards to these franchises that are continuing, like Transformers, Tomb Raider, Star Wars, what is your opinion on these? Like, is it more creative to create these new movies based off of old stories, or are you wanting to find something new?
I'd say if it's something like the Transformers, this is my opinion, I don't know what these guys think, but if it's something like Transformers, if you can make it better, great. If not, there's so many books out there that haven't really had an honest thing. Dresden Files was a TV show for a very short time. It sucked. So all Dresden Files fans, this guy's shaking his head, yes. Like, we don't even consider that TV show in existence. So you can't even call it a reboot because the fans of that franchise don't consider that TV show in existence. So technically it's a reboot, but we just want it to exist. There's so many great books out there. We want new stuff. So I don't know, what your guys' thoughts?
So when you have an IP like the Transformers or Star Wars, which has a huge fan base and a lot of people love, of course you want more content in that universe. As long as it's done well, that's a plus. You get shows, the current Transformers movies are not very good because most of the fans are not the current, they're not the audience. They're actually trying to sell movies in China. The Chinese don't care about the plot, they care about giant robots blowing things up. I'm all for that, but American audience wants a little bit more. So as far as, and then there has to be a balance between that versus new things. You get tired, your favorite song, yeah, it's your favorite song. Once you listen to it for 20 years, time for a new song. So I'm glad that a lot of these are becoming mainstream and that people are recognizing that a lot of what we would consider nerd or fringe culture back in the day isn't anymore. It's now mainstream and is getting a lot more attention and a lot more good content for it. but the main drawback is that a bunch of studios are pulling back on original content and not creating new. So as long as they keep that balance, I'm all for it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a battle versus nostalgia versus keeping it fresh. So, and that's really what it's about. And
Speaking
there's no
of,
nostalgia with the Transformers.
Speaking of nostalgia, did Ready Player One, did that crap movie Ready Player One, did that totally bomb?
You know, I don't think it did as well as they expected. I still want to watch it. I haven't had a chance to. You loved it? That's great.
Okay, I have not seen it. I read the book and I saw the previews. Hold on. This is people who disagree with us need to be put on mic.
There's a lot of nostalgia in that movie. So.
I never read the book, and so I don't know what the original part of it was. But and then the show itself was great. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. And you read the book, didn't you?
No, but the movie was awesome. Just the special effects alone, and
the music was great with it, and everything.
We loved it.
Okay, all right. Now, I will admit I have not seen the movie. I've read the book many times, and the previews just really did not excite me much. But yeah, and then I think Patrick Rothfuss. I still hear about supposedly the guy. I'm blanking on his name, but the guy that presented Hamilton is supposed to be the one doing the Patrick Rothfuss movie. Manuel Nori, is doing the Patrick Rothfuss franchise, and it's supposed to be huge, but I have not heard Miranda, yes. So, yeah, but I have not heard anything about it. What about you? You were going to say something? No? Okay. All right, should we wrap this up and roll with the weekly nerd news?
Yeah, let's roll it.
Right.
Thanks, Daughters. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Daughters. Thank you, folks.
And here is the weekly nerd news.
American Gods announces 3 new cast members. Dean Winters of Divorce and John Wick has been tapped to play Mr. Town. Devery Jacobs of Cardinal and the Order is set as Sam Black Crow. Kyan Kim of Shameless and Cassandra French's Finishing School has been cast as New Media. Atari VCS gains over $2 million in pre-orders. As of Sunday night, the Atari VCS raised $2,456,371 from 9,458 backers on its crowdfunding campaign. Atari VCS transforms how you will engage with your TV with a nod to Atari's rich history of pioneering interactive entertainment and hardware innovation. Chris Hemsworth says Avengers 4 is even more shocking than Infinity War. The 4th and technically still untitled Avengers movie is due out May 3rd, 2019. If you were shocked by Infinity War, I think the second one is even more shocking. For other reasons entirely, Hemsworth told Esquire in a new interview. Bumblebee first trailer for Transformers spin-off has been released. Paramount Pictures has released the first trailer for Bumblebee, a spin-off of the Transformers franchise. The spin-off is an origin story for the Bumblebee character, set a couple of decades before the events of the first Transformers movie. It stars Haley Steinfeld, will be directed by Travis Knight, with a screenplay written by Christina Hodson. No Michael Bay. Knob Creek to release one of the most anticipated whiskeys of the year. Knob Creek's to-be-released rye took home one of the biggest awards in spirits. Best Rye Whiskey at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. The limited run rye is set for a summer release. Its cask strength, it's aged 9 years, and it's not that expensive, about $70. Knob Creek has not yet released an official availability date or a number of bottles available. Patrick Stewart may be hinting at a role in CBS All-Access Star Trek Discovery TV series, possibly as Captain Jean-Luc Picard. The fan-favorite captain of the USS Enterprise D on Star Trek The Next Generation hasn't been a part of the franchise since the final TNG film, Star Trek Nemesis, released in 2002. After Nemesis flamed out at the box office and Star Trek Enterprise was unceremoniously canceled in 2005, the Star Trek franchise went into hibernation until J.J. Abrams launched his blockbuster reboot in 2009, starring Chris Pine as a younger Captain James T. Kirk. However, Star Trek was completely absent from television until Star Trek Discovery premiered in 2017. Jack Daniels and the impact of trade war. The maker of Jack Daniels says tariffs are making it difficult to plan for the future. The company, Brown-Forman, reported strong revenue and profit growth for the fiscal year that ended in April and expects to report more gains ahead. But it said competition in the developed world, coupled with potential retaliatory tariffs on American spirits, means that it's difficult to accurately predict future results. U.S. bourbon is one of the products targeted by foreign governments in the retaliation for the Trump administration's tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from the EU, Mexico, and much of the rest of the world. Does anyone want a Jared Leto Joker standalone movie? Jared Leto will reprise his Suicide Squad role as DC Comics supervillain the Joker in a standalone movie. Variety said that Leto, 46, will both star in and serve as an executive producer of the untitled spin-off film for Warner Brothers. The Trade magazine noted this will be separate from Todd Phillips' upcoming Joker origin movie, part of a Warner Brothers division specializing in origin story films and for which Joaquin Phoenix has been assigned to play the role. Are you confused yet? Shadowhunters won't return for a 4th season. Based on the Mortal Instruments novels by Cassandra Clare, Shadowhunters starred Catherine McNamara as Clary Frey, an aspiring artist who learns she's a human-angel hybrid destined to help protect the New York City streets from all manner of creatures that go bump in the night. Season to date, Shadowhunters is averaging barely 400,000 total weekly viewers, down sharply from Season 2 and ranking 5th among all current freeform programs. The supernatural drama will wrap things up in the spring of 2019 with a 12-episode run, aka Season 3B, titled Shadowhunters, The Final Hunt, that will include a 2-hour series finale event. Greg Berlanti inks mega $300 million new overall deal. Greg Berlanti has been the producer of Titans, Doom Patrol, Supergirl, Deception, Flash, Arrow, Riverdale, Black Lightning, and that's just this year. Not too shocking that Warner Brothers Television Group would want to keep him at the studio through 2024. No financial terms are being disclosed, but sources peg the pack at more than $300 million over the next 6 years. Curiosity rover finds ancient building blocks for life on Mars. NASA's Mars rover Curiosity has identified a variety of organic molecules, the carbon-based building blocks for life as we know it, in 3.5 billion-year-old red planet rocks, one of the paper's reports. These results do not give us any evidence of life, stressed study lead author Jennifer Eigenbroek, a scientist at the Solar System Exploration Division at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. But there is a possibility that the organics are from an ancient life source. We just don't know, Eigenbroek told Space.com. And even if life was never around, the molecules tell us there was at least something around for organisms to eat. Kelly Marie Tran, who starred in Star Wars The Last Jedi, recently deleted her Instagram. She did so due to harassment that included racist remarks. We at Nerds Drink Whiskey find this behavior inexcusable. If you have to resort to racism, you are in the wrong, weak-minded, and a pathetic excuse for a human being. The problems with The Last Jedi are not even her fault. We are calling all nerds to call out this toxic behavior. Share this video if you won't tolerate hate in our scene. J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot launches video game division. Company president and COO Brian Weinstein announced Thursday that the entertainment production company has entered a strategic relationship with Tencent, the Chinese media giant, to form Bad Robot Games. The partnership will exclusively develop games by Abrams and Bad Robot, with Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment joining the gaming arm as a minority investor. Bad Robot Games will partner with established developers to create large-scale and indie titles for mobile, PC, and console markets. In-house visual artists, designers, and writers from Bad Robot will work on the projects. HBO has officially greenlit a follow-up pilot to its acclaimed international hit Game of Thrones. And it sounds just as massively ambitious as the original series. The network has ordered a prequel drama from writer Jane Goldman and author George R.R. Martin. The network has released an official description of the show's storyline. Taking place thousands of years before the events of Game of Thrones, the series chronicles the world's descent from the golden age of heroes into its darkest hour. Since the 8th and final season of Game of Thrones is coming next year, the soonest we can see a successor series is 2020. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy stepping down this fall? The repercussions from The Last Jedi debacle continue, it seems. Rian Johnson created the most divisive Star Wars production since Disney took over. Solo did horrible at the box office. And let's face it, The Force Awakens doesn't look as great as we first thought. It seems the pressure is just too much and she will be stepping down in September. Do you think she's to blame?